Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine. It's time to continue our Sketch With Me series using our Sunrays for Days papers. And I picked a sketch from the June 2021 virtual crop. This one was designed by Midori Nagasaka from Japan. She used the Out of This World pages. And it's going to be a 2-page layout that we're going to be putting together today. You are going to need 4 pieces of designer paper and 2 pieces of cardstock for this layout. I've picked these 4 and you'll see what we'll be using them as coming up in the layout. You also are going to need your jumbo circle and your medium custom cutting system circles. And now, without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. I thought that the center focal point of this layout is really the jumbo circle in the center. And I thought, what's more summertime than the sunshine and the clouds? So we're going to make that the focal point of our layout. Of course, the pictures will be. However, it's also nice if we have something that's cohesive and will highlight our pictures as well. So, since we're doing sun rays for days, why not make the sun and clouds the main focus? We're going to start with our jumbo custom cutting system circle with our blue blade. Grab mine out, get it going here. And it's almost always easier to insert your 2 pegs into the track before you place it on the paper. I'm not sure why that is, but it just always seems easier. I'm going to kind of go around lightly just to make sure I'm within the paper because our blue blade cuts the furthest from the template. Our red blade cuts the closest, and I want to make sure that I have enough paper here for my entire circle. There we go. So this is going to be our circle, which means I think we're going to have a scrap card today. I know that'll make my card makers happy. I didn't have a card in the last video. We are also going to be cutting a couple of circles with our medium circle, and we are going to use the red blade outside and inside, just checking my notes here to make sure that I'm grabbing the correct blade for my circle. And we're going to need to cut 2 of these. One is going to be using the outside track of our circle, and the other is going to be the inside track. Oops, I felt my blade slip a little bit there. There we go. Want to make sure I get my entire circle. No problem. So what I've decided is I'm going to use the lemon side for my larger circle, and then I'm going to use this really cool summer starry night for my smaller circle, because I think, you know, we do have some beautiful starry nights in the summer as well, and it makes a great contrast to all the lighter colors to have some light and dark on the page. Here we go. So there's our smaller circle. That looks really small, but that's okay. That's what it showed. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to go with it, and we'll see how it turns out for us. All right. Let's go ahead and get our trimmers out. We actually are going to be cutting all of our circles. The large jumbo circle that we cut, we are going to be cutting at 5 inches here on our trimmer. Oops. I just felt the whole thing slip. There we go. Because this is going to go half and half on between our 2 pages. And the smaller circle we're going to cut at 1 inch, which takes off a lot. So you know what? I'm actually going to cut this at 1/2 inch because it looks smaller than what I thought it was going to come out. So we're going to just go with it. This one's going to be cut at 1/2 inch instead of the inch, which is what I had in my notes. And this other one, the larger one, is going to be cut in half. If you line up your circles at the top of your trimmer in between these 2 white pieces here, I can show you probably better on the bottom here, in between the 2 pieces here, it'll help center your circle and it makes it easy to cut them in half. So, of course mine, I missed a little piece, but when you fold it you can see it's in half. So I'm just going to take my scissors, maybe just a hair off. No, it's pretty much in half. There you go. I guess that's the interesting part about having the light and the dark paper. There we go. That one's in half. And now we need to cut a few strips as well for our banner pieces that are going to go around our larger sunshine. And for that, I've picked this dandelion paper. And I'm going to fussy cut it this way because we're going to use both sides. First we're going to cut a 2-inch piece by 12 inches. And then we also are going to cut 2 1.5-inch pieces. So here's 1.5. And we're going to use both sides of our paper coming up. I will show you just a moment here. Let me get my second 1.5-inch piece cut. But first we're going to take and our 2 1.5-inch pieces, we're going to turn 90 degrees and we're going to cut in half at 6 inches. So let's move out our cutting arm here. I feel like my table is a little cluttered, so I'm going to remove my cutting mat since we're done with it. Get that put down and grab my 2 1.5-inch pieces. We're just going to go ahead and cut them in half at 6 inches. And then our 2-inch by 12-inch piece here, we are going to cut at 4 inches. Okay, so that is the main portion of our page, except for you can put your trimmer away because I'm going to grab out my punching mat. There we go. We do have a little bit of going on here, don't we? All right. We are going to be using our Sandcastle border maker cartridges because what else is summer but going to the beach and making those sandcastles. So we're going to use this page and we're going to use both sides of it. We actually are going to punch 4 sandcastles. To use our border maker system, you bring up the tray from the bottom to help position your paper in the tray. To make it even for your punching, go ahead and lower there's a magnet in this blue bar, fold back under your paper holder, and then we're going to punch 4 of these, and we're going to use 2 with this side of the page and 2 with the other side of the page. You will see coming up. I'll be back with you in just a moment. Oh, I'm also lining up the notches to make sure I get my punches lined up. As it turns out, I forgot this one wasn't a chain border maker, so we need to grab our trimmers again so we can cut these to do our other 2, or cut off our sandcastles. So here's my trimmer again. Let's see where we want to cut this at. 1 inch looks a little tight. Let's do 1.25 inches. 1/4 with the top part of the flag at the 1.25" mark. Here we go. That should make a nice border for us, right? Very cute. So we'll actually probably do our second one a little bit shorter, but this is good because we actually do layer our borders for our sketch. On the sketch, there's one that actually goes over and one that goes under, and hang on, I'll show you a minute what we're going to be doing. And we're actually, I think, going to have the dark blue in the background and the lighter one on top. So it almost looks like we have a little shadow coming off with our sandcastles. Kind of fun, huh? So there we go. Let me go ahead and punch my other two. Let's just set this aside a minute here. Move out some of my confetti. And let's get 2 more punched, and then we'll go ahead and cut at 1 inch for the next set. So I've punched 4. Let me actually, I'm going to save some of these larger pieces to see if whether we want to use them on our layout today or in a scrap layout or card later. It kind of makes an interesting little shape when you put them together. So this, you can almost line them up or layer them also. Because of the flags, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of neat. I kind of like that one. So we're gonna save those, and I still have my little top of my moon or whatever, one of our, that circle that we cut at the edge, because I don't know if that one's actually going on the layout or not. We are going to grab our trimmers again and cut these at 1 inch. And here we go. Oops, I bent down one of my flags. I guess you have to be careful with the little flags. One's a little bit delicate. Here we go. It doesn't really matter which side you use. Actually, I think the blue side is a little bit easier to see for lining up. But you do whichever side of the page or whatever paper you picked is easier for you to see. Here we go. All right. So set those aside. I'm going to set my jumbo circle aside. And here we'll put the trimmer away. And we are ready to start putting our page together. Let's see here. Hopefully, well, oh, you know what? We forgot to do I forgot to do the banners. So let's do this first. Let me see if I can get myself lined up here. Got a lot of things going on here. All right. Make sure I get myself on the camera so y'all can see what I'm actually doing here. We've got our 2 pages. This one has a little extra thread of paper coming off of it, so I'm just going to grab that real quick. Okay, so this is our sunshine that's going to be in the middle of the page. Let's go ahead and put that down, so that way if I knock it by accident, it won't go anywhere. And it looks like this is centered on the page here, lined up with the left side of the page using the larger half of the circle. And now this one is going to be lined up with the right side of the page. Centered as best you can. Oh wait, let's actually put these together. Wouldn't that be smart? There we go. To get our design lined up as well here. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so now let's get some banners going, and I'm actually going to go ahead and do 2 at a time just to help with time and effort here. So put a little fold at one end of your paper, grab your microchip or regular scissors, go ahead and cut up the crease, and then go ahead and cut from the corner to meet it in that middle part at an angle. It just gives a little bit more of an even banner this way. And of course, if you have the banner punch that came in one of the secret boxes recently, you can use that as well. I'll stick that on our scrap stash. Okay, looks like our longer one is going to go on this side, and our shorter one is going to go on this side, but of course, because of my paper that I picked, if I put the longer one this way, it's going to be upside down. So we're going to do it this way. Well, that's the beauty of having double-sided paper, is you can flip it and use what you like. And I'm going to go ahead and do 2 of these at a time as well. Go ahead and fold them in half again, and we'll see what winds up being right side up and being upside down, and we'll have to figure that out. I might wind up with some upside down dandelions for one of our banners, because I would like to alternate the colors if I can. Just seems like a good idea. There we go. Okay, side, there we go. Right, so we are going to have some upside down, but that's okay. This is going to go here, and looks like this is actually layered under, and this one's layered over. And you can cut this way from corner to the other way, but a lot of times you're not exactly even when you do that. So like I said, it just makes more sense to kind of make sure you've got it to where it does actually meet in the center of your banner piece. My paper shifted on me. Here we go. So that way you get a nice even banner every time you cut one. So we'll have 2 of the upside dandelions coming out from the right, and we will have 2 of our yellows coming out from the left. And I'm going to need to get my multi-purpose tool to help out a little bit, because we're going to have to go underneath where I've already taped, because it looks like this one goes in a bit further. So, okay, let's start with this one, our furthest out one, and we'll be placing it towards the corner. Oops. Okay, let's see here. Trying to follow the sketch here. There we go. So we have one. This is kind of overlapping this way in just a little bit, but kind of also close to the edge of the paper. And here we go. Let me angle that over just a little bit more. Oops. Here we go. All right, so there's 2, and then this is the one. Did I get myself far enough in? Not quite. Here we go. So this one is going to angle even a little bit further this way and going in. Whoops. It's the thing with having the... but you kind of need the circle on here, because otherwise it's hard to know how far you're putting it under. So, like I said, use your multi-purpose tool to help you out. make your life easier. And there you go. It's not a big deal to go ahead and, I've already got a piece there, so there we go. We just stick everything back down and we're set. So now let's get this top part figured out. Looks like this one is going to be the longest one, kind of heading up towards this end. Let me pull these other two out, and this one's going to be sticking out the most. Oops. I've got to get used to my new camera angle here. I'm trying out a new setup and seeing if hopefully this helps with some of the sound issues I've been having. So y'all can let me know in the comments. This was pretty much the best. I mean, I love that I can get a two-sheet layout on screen now as well for you. So I think this might actually work better going forward. Just hoping that you can hear me and our sound issues hopefully will be resolved. Okay, didn't want to cover up the dandelions all the way. And yep, of course this one's gonna be on top anyways. And I don't remember exactly in the, I think in the demo, the original layout, that Midori used the, well, she used the Out of This World pages, but I think she used two different pages rather than using the front and back like I am. So you can choose to use your paper how you want. I tend to be a little bit more frugal with mine, so it's up to you on how you want your layout to look. Okay, so we have one part of our lemons are going to be over here and one part's going to be over here, but we also have our little moon going in first on this end, and it looks like it's closer to here and away from the edge a bit. So we'll figure that out in a minute, because then we have to layer in our border as well. Here we go. Let's get this down here. Here we go. And so now out comes the famous parchment board. I use a sturdy piece of cardboard and then use electrical tape to stick on your parchment, because it's one of the few things that will stick to parchment. And this just makes a really great non-stick surface to work with your repositionable tape for our borders. So for my back border, I'm going to use the blue side, and I'm going to use the 1¼ inch one we did. I need to set this down here first. Can't forget to put down my other circle here. All right. Because we're going to have one of these running across the, one is going to run across the top of the page and one is going to run across the bottom of the page. And if you have like our, maybe our fan, double fan border maker, and you decide to use that, that actually might be fun to do, because I'm going to do it with the sandcastles going straight up and down on both ends. But you could almost even reverse one of your borders, like have one coming down and one going up on your page if you want. But for me, for this, for the sandcastles, I'm going to grab my repositionable tape, and we are going to have them both going the same direction, because who wants upside down sandcastles? Not me. If you do on your page, go for it. I would love to see what it looks like. But I don't know if you can post a picture in the comments on YouTube. So you can always send me an email. All right. There we go. I think I've got enough of this on here. Let's get these placed. Whoops. As I have one getting stuck to my shirt. So here's our bottom one. this is going to run here across our page. I think I look reasonably straight. And this other one is going to run across the top part here. And whoops, I missed the end of my page. There we go. Okay, that looks reasonably straight as well. Whoops, I knocked one of those flags again. Do have to remember to be careful with those little flags. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and get our repositionable tape on our second half. This is the shorter one. This was the 1 inch. And that way we're going to place this one up here in just a moment. Actually, well, why not now? Just go ahead and place this up here using my regular tape runner. Whoops. And here we go, because that's supposed to kind of have an over-under effect up here. Here we go. Now, here we go. So let's go ahead and put this one on. And it is going to create, so I'm putting it down. Oops, okay, here we go. Lining it up where the flag kind of runs sort of through the middle of the window of the top one. There we go. I will hold it up to the camera in just a moment so you all can see it a little bit closer. But first I want to place my other one and finish off this page. Oops. All right. Sandcastles are a little tricky, but they're fun and they are so cute and appropriate for summer. I just love them. Love this border maker. Okay, so now this one gets, oh, you know what? This one was supposed to have gone underneath our lemons. That's why it looks funny. Okay, let me grab my multi-purpose tool because this can always be fixed. I just have to be careful with the flags. Here we go. So let's lift this up. This, I didn't realize it was supposed to go under both of the sides with the larger piece here. Since I used the permanent tape, it takes a little more elbow grease to get that up. There we go. So that one went under, and this is going to go over. And oops, see if I can actually get that lined up again. There we go. In fact, I'm going to do it so you can actually see a full sandcastle on this side over here. Because why not? What's the point of having the sandcastles if you can't see them? There's that. And here now, we're going to layer this in kind of through the middle window again of the larger sandcastle is kind of what I'm using to line it up with. There we go. And so now I'm just going to clean this up a little bit using my finger to rub off the little bit of extra repositionable tape I had from placing it down on top before. And there we go. Oh my goodness, look how cute. This layout is so colorful. I love it. Just screams summer. So now looking at our sketch again, we have a couple of embellishment elements going on. It looks like you can take a mat and cut it down for a journal box here. Since I don't have my pictures yet, I'm not sure if I want to do 2 or 3 across here, but I will put an extra embellishment up here. And I may actually put something up here because it looks like she put like 3 little boxes up here. And like I said, I will have a link to the original blog post in my description box so you can find this as well easily. And I think we will add a little something down here as well. So let's take a look at the stickers and see what works with our dandelions and sunshines, and our sandcastles, of course. So here, oh, I love those lanterns. I forgot we had those. You can easily use a border sticker on this layout as well. I mean, the lemon goes perfectly with the lemon paper, but we're not going to do that. We are going to pick. So we're going to pick this one over here. This Every Summer Has a Story, and that's going to go down here. I love that it's a circle and it repeats all of the other circles that we have on our page. I'm going to grab one of my large foam squares and pop it up on the page down here. And then I'm also going to grab the clouds, as well as I think this round sunshine for this top left corner, because it'll also pull in some of our stars as well. So we're going to layer our clouds, so we kind of have our dark and our light clouds together. So I just kind of layered them on top of each other. And I think I'm actually going to layer in our sunshine as well. Maybe just kind of peeping out from behind our clouds. Here we go. So there we go. I created a little sticker cluster, and I'm also going to go ahead and put a large foam square behind that. And that is going to go up here in this top corner. Let's see, do we want to place it over our... If I like it this direction, how's about we do it here? Yep, let's go ahead and do it over here. So it kind of draws in from our lemons, and we've got our little sunshine. There's also another little lemon slice here with the lemonade. I think that's cute. We have some flowers, but I don't think I'm going to add any of that right now. Like I said, I feel like I need my pictures a little bit more on this one than some of the other layouts that we've done. But here is the left side. You can see the nice cute sticker cluster there, and our banners. We can I'll put that in the center of the shot for you so you can see it a little bit better. And here is our right side with our sticker as well, and then how I layered the sandcastles. And here's our two pages together. So coming up, I will be doing a scrap card because we have plenty of scraps, and I know my card making friends enjoy getting the card ideas as well. So that is coming up here in just a moment. Welcome back. I have my blank card I've pulled out of my blank card kit. I'm actually going to be doing 2 cards with our scraps. I'm doing one that's more of a daytimey, sunshiny one, and then I'm going to do one that's more of a night on the water. So our first one, let's see, I want my card to open from the top, so I need to cut this 5.5 first. This is our scraps from our page layout. And then we're going to turn it 90 degrees. We're going to do 4.25 because I'm going to use the dandelion side as the base of my card here. And then I grabbed my piece that was left over from cutting the jumbo circle. And I want this one also to be at 5.5. I just really kind of liked the idea of using this just crazy configuration to my advantage. And we'll see how it actually looks on the card. If I need to trim it down a little more, I will. So this is 4.25. Since we did the 5.5 by 4.25 is the size of our card. We're going to have this coming over from the left side here, just highlighting our sunshine and our dandelions. And then I was thinking about, let me see how this looks first, because sometimes I see these things in my head, and then I'm not so sure if that's what I actually really do want to do with it or not. I thought about layering these two on here. Let's see, where I flip the page over. Actually not too shabby. Wonder if I have, or no, I actually like it better layered underneath. Let's see if I have it where we can actually read it in any way, shape or form from one of these corners. Nope, so we're just gonna grab this other corner, and I think it's gonna go off the edge a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna grab my scissors for this one. I'm gonna snip it, and we'll layer this in just a moment. Sometimes these cards are kind of just let's see what we have left and what I think might work well together. And that is what this one is. Grab my tape runner here. Go ahead and get my base page put down. My dandelions down first. Make sure my card is opening up. Yes, it is. And then I'm going to see where I want this one to line up, because I know this is going to be flush with the edge. So this one needs to come right about here, which is what, about maybe 1/4 of an inch, do we think? Let's see if I just leave. Oh, look, hey, there's the end of the yellow flower. That's helpful. Sometimes our designs work to our advantage to help us out here a little bit. Okay, my tape runner just ran out, so let me grab my backup one. Oh, maybe it didn't actually. It looks like it's not quite right yet. I just wasn't pushing hard enough. Go figure. A little operator error. That's okay. So what did I say? The end of the dandelion here. We want it coming down. Hang on, let me get this line back up again. So here's that flush with where I want it. This one's coming in and under. And yeah, well, it's going to cover up that little dandelion. Okay. So let me put this up just a little bit here. Yep, there was our yellow dandelion. Okay, let's get this other one on. Yeah, the trick to knowing when your tape runner ends is when it's red. So I got fooled, and that's okay, because I still have a little bit of tape runner to work with, which is nice. This needs to go up just a hair. There we go. Okay, grab my scissors again. I'm gonna flip this over. I'm gonna trim off the excess that's coming off of each side here, and then I think I'm gonna grab my repositionable tape runner, because my end is just a little bit up here, and I'm just gonna do that. Work it up towards me, and then make sure that little end is down. This side I probably should do as well, just to kind of make sure it's a little bit more secure, so when it gets handled or the person goes to open it, the paper isn't flipping up on them. So we also had these little triangles left over that we cut from the banners. I was looking to see if maybe one of these might work in our corner. Yeah, that looks cute there, doesn't it? This is the back side of the dandelion paper that we cut all those banners from, so I think I'm going to add this. Where did I? And I'm going to add this using my repositionable tape to this little corner down here, and there we go. We also have a Fun in the Sun sticker that I knew I wanted to put on here, and so this is just going to go right in here, and I think that's going to be it for our sunshiny daytime card. I'm going to use, of course, a foam square, and give our card a little highlight, a really nice, another really cute thinking of you card. Yeah, I like it. It's simple, it's unique, and I'm sure that someone would enjoy getting that in the mail, don't you think? Very cute. It reminds me of a sunny day with cutting the grass or just laying out on a picnic blanket. My second card, I've grabbed another blank card, and this one's going to open to the side with the left side opening. Move a couple of things here and grab out my trimmer again. I'm going to use this sheet that we cut some of our circles from as my base for this one. And it's going to be the 5.5 by 4 1/4. This one doesn't matter as much where you cut it, because I don't quite have enough to get it off of this end of the page. So I will use that for something else later. So 5.5 by 4 1/4 is our card base, the standard A2 size for the cards. And I thought that these waves looked really cool, that it would make a really nice, almost water feature. And I have my 0 centering ruler, and I just want to spot check how high up. I think I want it at about 2 inches. Okay. So I want it to 2 inches by 4 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my 4 1/4 first. And then I'll cut my 2 inches. Here we go, and there we go. Okay. So now, let me grab my parchment board. I'm just gonna, I think, work on the parchment board here. Because I'm going to be adding this. I think this almost looks like the sun reflecting on the water, or as the moon is rising. It's the other half of the circle that we cut. It's a lot that lemons, but it still kind of looks like a sunshine on the page. And we're going to be using a couple of our remaining pieces from our sandcastles that we punched. So let me grab my tape runner first. And put this down on the card first. If I can get it to go straight for me here. It's always a little bit more when you have a darker page. You always want to line it up a little bit more because of it shows with the white, there we go, the white base behind it. There we go, got it. Okay, so now we're gonna put our ocean piece behind it, or our ocean waves, and just thought it looked really cool as far as being in the dark in the moonlight. And I thought maybe this would give us a reflection of as if somebody had been doing sandcastles on the beach that day. Yes, kind of fun. So a repositionable tape runner. I almost grabbed my regular one again. Let's get these on here. Whoops. I kind of lined up with the edge of the card pretty well, didn't it? Well, I guess it's going to be over a little. Let's go ahead and move that so it's a little more centered. So we have just that little bit of dark space on each side, because I think these are right around 2 inches usually. And since our page is 4 1/4, we can move it in about, what, 1/8 of an inch on each side, and it'll look even from the ends, or from the edges. There we go. And number 2. Again, you kind of have to be careful with where those flags are. It's kind of a little bit tricky here, but I think it's going to be worth it. There we go. Look at that. And then maybe with our, I don't know, that actually throws it off. I almost like just the dark instead. I thought I was going to really like seeing the reflection of the sun on the water, but I'm not so sure. Nope, we're not going to be able to use that. I really like the idea of the sandcastles in there. And then we have a Starry Night sticker that, and then we have these lanterns that I thought might be cool also, but I don't think it's going to work. So we might just put our Starry Nights up here or down here. What do we think? I think it pops a little bit more down here, and we're just gonna put that down there. And this also would be a great, if you want, have been to the beach and you want to send somebody some pictures that you enjoyed the beach with. This might be a really fun card to send them some pictures of your sunny days and starry nights that you spent on the beach together. And the little sandcastles are indicative of that. And I'm going to look and see if there's another sticker I want for the top, but I'm not thinking there is. Actually, I love the shadow effect of the sandcastle so much on this. Here's our Starry Nights. We do have a blue heart, but I just don't think that's going to do anything for us. I mean, we could put a flower up here, but a flower doesn't really make sense in the starry sky. So I think we're just going to leave it. And I think that'll be our card. And again, another just simple, easy way to use up some of our scraps from our layout that we did. Let me hold this one closer. There's our Starry Night. And this one was our sunny day one. So much fun. So glad you all spent some time with me today, and I really hope you enjoyed working on the sketch and then seeing a way to use up some of your scraps from the sketch to make a couple of fun cards. Until next time.